Hello, Happy New Year! I hope you guys are doing well. It is the perfect time of year to sort of reflect on 2023 and, think about the things that we really want to leave behind in the past year. So in your painting practice, in your art practice, what are some things that you're ready to give up and stop doing and, just move forward and be a better artist? So let's talk about 6 painting habits that we are going to leave in 2023 and not take with us into the new year. Number 1 is using solvents. So why are we still using solvents? You really don't have to. If you like them, that is perfectly fine. They work really well, so I will not tell you not to use them. But I've been painting solvent-free for like 5 years now, and it's just such a better experience. There are endless benefits for your health, for, the planet, and just like for your sanity, not breathing in those chemicals, having headaches. I just absolutely love painting solvent-free, and it's very easy. Again, solvents do work, so if you like them, no shame at all. But if you are interested in learning more about the solvent-free journey, I do have some videos about this, and it's just something that I really recommend you try. Try safflower oil, walnut oil, or linseed oil. So I really recommend you try it out for a month or a week or whatever in 2024 and see how you like it. You might really enjoy, not having to ventilate constantly or having headaches. It just is a really nice, healthier experience. And number 2 is not planning our paintings. So this has been really important to me recently. I just have realized that if I don't plan my paintings, I really don't like how they turn out. You may be a type of person that can just like go with the flow and create stuff on the fly, and that's amazing. But for a lot of us, we want to plan our paintings. We want to have images ready, the layout sketched out or collaged or something like that. So if you're painting from photos, like maybe you take a photo of a beach and you just paint from that, perfect, you have a photo. If you like to paint a little bit, differently, maybe more surrealist or abstract, then having other images, multiple images, or, a mood board, something like that can really help you go into the painting, with a plan. For me, I like to use Canva online, and I will collage different images and play with the values and colors until I really like something. And then at least I have some sort of layout. And I also like to do sometimes like a small painting that can become a larger painting. And then I can kind of work out the details without committing and using all those materials up in the large painting. So however you want to go about it, I think just planning your paintings out a little bit beforehand will really help you increase your chances of success in your larger painting. Number 3 is not cleaning our brushes well. Okay, I did this for a long time. I have to admit, I did not clean my brushes well, and they would get really gross, and I would end up throwing a lot away, and I also just have a box of like really dried, hard brushes over there that I don't know if I'll ever revive. So I've made a pact to myself that even though it's annoying and a little bit time consuming, I take the extra time to clean my brushes well. This means at least a couple times a week I use soap and water, cleaning them with safflower oil after I'm finished painting for the day. And then once in a while, I'll do like a deep clean with a solvent or something like that. So in 2024, let's just take a few extra minutes and make sure our brushes are taken care of, and also using conditioner. If you want to make your brushes really soft, that's a good tip. So let's go into the new year and just take care of our materials. Okay, number 4 is always doing an underpainting without considering our style and the subject matter. Okay, I'm a huge fan of underpaintings. I absolutely love them. I think they can really create a base for your painting and really shine beautiful colors through underneath. And it can also create a layout and a guide and just sort of get rid of the scary white blank canvas feeling. However, I recently started painting with lighter, brighter colors and in a different style, like a little bit more abstract and lower contrast and things like that. And I've noticed that sometimes if I do like a burnt sienna underpainting, it can kind of dull or darken the colors on the top. Now, if you're painting like realism, more realistic from a photo, I think that underpaintings are absolutely incredible and really necessary sometimes. But if you're painting a little bit more abstract or, really bright colors and you don't need those like shadows coming through, I don't think you always need an underpainting. I think it can kind of just be a waste of paint or, even dull your painting. A good example is I used to paint fruit a lot, and I noticed that fruit is very translucent and bright. And when I would do an underpainting, it would actually fully take away from the fruit colors. And when I just painted the beautiful, the lime, the bright green, it looked so much better. So let's just not do an underpainting automatically. Let's really consider like what we're doing, what colors are best, and how it will look in the final product. Just being less on autopilot and more, thinking for ourselves, essentially. And number 5 is painting stuff that we don't like. Okay. Sometimes there is a line. You have to know when to grow and learn and to push yourself to learn how to paint something new. If you really want to paint faces and you're not that great, but you really enjoy the learning process, obviously push yourself, watch videos, practice, learn. But if you feel like you need to paint faces because that feels common or like sophisticated or something, but you really love painting flowers instead, you don't need to paint faces. It's okay. Like, I think sometimes at art school, they can, get in your head about what's, high art or something, or you just see a lot of art online and you're like, oh, I need to learn how to paint anatomy. Or even an example from my past, I love painting flowers. So for a while, I thought I needed to paint like the stems and the leaves and really like thin lines, and I didn't enjoy that. I really enjoyed the bubbly like flower petals and just the more organic shapes that you might see in nature, rocks and things like that. I really like painting large bubbly shapes instead of the thin lines. So as a flower painter, I was like, okay, I need to paint all of it. But you actually don't. You can mold the flower to be what you want it to be. You can make it more abstract or, change the proportions, whatever you want to do. You don't have to fit like the realism mold or the standard art mold. You can change your painting. You can change the colors. It doesn't have to be the pink flower that you see in your photo. You can totally, make it blue, whatever. So if you're not enjoying what you're painting, really assess like what aspects do you not enjoy and what do you enjoy? And do more of the things that you enjoy and less of the things that you don't. And I think sometimes we just push our way through something, and it's okay not to do that sometimes. And number 6 is painting high contrast values. Okay, this might be a little bit niche, but I wanted to talk about things that weren't as like common or obvious, I guess. Personally, I feel like lower contrast paintings just look better. They're going to look great on someone's wall. And if you're not sure what I really mean, what I mean is that high contrast paintings, there's very bright brights and very dark darks. And there's a lot of harsh lines and it feels more like aggressive. And then if you think of a lower contrast painting, it's going to feel very unified and cohesive and flowing and more like just one picture that you can like put on your wall. And it's not like all these pieces, like puzzle pieces next to each other, if that makes sense. This might be a weird one, but in 2024, I really want to challenge myself to paint lower contrast, to paint more muted colors, like less bright whites and less dark darks. So there's not that harsh line. And I just want my paintings to feel more flowing and, easy on the eyes, essentially. So if you also have this problem where you paint really high contrast and you don't like how it looks, or it just feels like cartoony on the wall, then I challenge you also to try painting more earthy, muted tones and have less difference in your colors, like less aggressive values all over. I hope that makes sense. All right, well, I would love to hear what you are leaving behind in 2023 in your painting or art practice. Let me know down below. Please make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, of course. Yeah, let's go into 2024 with a great mindset and let's just hit the ground running with our painting practice. Okay, bye.